Welcome back, everyone, for PyCon Australia 2013. It's great to see so many of you here. So this year has been a year of many records for this conference, and I'd love to share some of these with you. We had record response to our call for proposals this year. It ran throughout March, and we feel that the quality of the program that our program committee assembled this year really reflects the high standard of submissions that we received. We think this is going to be a fantastic conference, and it's thanks to everybody who submitted talks through the CFP. We've extended the conference this year out to 3 days thanks to the addition of our mini-confs. We should thank Tristan Good and Tom Fifield for helping bring Python developers to OpenStack through the organisation of the OpenStack mini-conference this year. Please thank them. And it's been a long-held goal of mine to help bring a Django conference to PyCon AU, and I'd love to thank Russell Keith McGee for helping organise that and making such an awesome first day for everyone who's interested in Django at this conference. Please thank him. There are more people at this year's conference than any other PyCon Australia before it. We have students who are growing into the Python community, enthusiasts who are enthused enough to attend here on their own pocket, professionals who are working with Python on a daily basis. This conference attracts Python users of all varieties, and I think this delegation really shows that. There are more countries represented this year, not just people from Australia, the United States, New Zealand, Singapore, China, India, from Europe, and even Asia. This conference has wider reach than any PyCon Australia before it. And that people have travelled to this conference while another major Python conference is running in another part of the world is a testament to the strength of the Australian Python community that we've been building over the last 3 years. So before we even begin this conference, thank you all for making this possible. So we have some housekeeping before we kick the conference off. This conference is subject to the Linux Australia Code of Conduct. So basically, be nice to people wherever possible. We'd really appreciate that. And if you do have any issues with the conduct of people at this conference, it's very easy to find people who are involved with the conference. Our core staff, including myself, Joshua Hesketh, who is my co-lead organiser who's taking care of logistics, Matthew Durazio, who is our treasurer, our outer team members, Casey Farrell and Josh Dupre, we're all wearing green lanyards, and that will help you find us. Our volunteers who help keep the conference running and help keep people out of our way will be wearing red lanyards. So that's how you find staff. A few notices. Yesterday at Code Wars, there was a mix-up with some of the t-shirt sizes. I believe that there were some mediums mixed up in the large pile and vice versa. So if you expected a medium and have a large, go see the registration desk and sort that out. Now, if you want to attend the conference dinner tonight, the swag voucher that is inside your badge will not admit you to the dinner. You need to see the swag collection line in the registration desk and swap that out for actual dinner tickets. Finally, if you arrive late to a session that is in this room here, the doors actually open out onto the stage, as I'm sure you've noticed. There is a late entrance which is next to the registration desk. Just chat to the registration desk people and they'll let you up here. We're recording from up the back of the room, and having people walk in through the front of the room is really distracting, both to our recordings and to our speakers who we want to give really high quality presentations. If you want to present a lightning talk, we have a session at the end of today. Our lightning talks will go for 5 minutes each. It's at 20 to 5, and it will be in here. We'll have a sign-up board outside in the exhibition foyer. We have an open space and a speaker's lounge downstairs in the Wellington room. So if you want to run a birds of feather session or something like that, you can use the open space for that. And if you're a speaker who wants to work on slides in a quiet place, Wellington room is good for that as well. We also expect to have a jobs board up in the exhibition foyer, so if you are hiring or looking for work, the jobs board will be your place to go. Food and beverage this year will be held outside in the exhibition foyer. We have breaks at morning and afternoon tea as well as lunch. And dinner tonight is next door in the Tasman room, which will be for most of the day housing our other two stream sessions. You'll need a dinner ticket to get in, and you'll need to see Rego before 6:30 p.m. to collect your dinner tickets. Coffee this year has been sponsored by Freelancer. As with last year, we've hired in Ritual Coffee Tasmania from Launceston. They've designed a custom blend for this conference. It's called Norwegian Blue. It contains a couple of El Salvador-based coffees. I don't get it. So thank them if you like the coffee, and thank Freelancer for bringing them here. Conference Wi-Fi has been sponsored by Secret Lab. The password is as on your screen. Is Ask Chris. Ask Chris. I can see this getting into a bit of a loop. So this conference would not be possible without the generous contributions made by each of our sponsors. Our sponsors are companies who care about the growth of the Python community in Australia, and in sponsoring they keep our conference affordable to everybody who chooses to attend. And this conference has attracted record levels of sponsorship for a PyCon Australia. Google Australia have been our top tier sponsors ever since the inception of this conference in 2010. This is the 4th year that they have been involved with us. I'd also like to thank the Tasmanian branch of the Australian Computer Society. They're very strong friends of grassroots computing organisations in Tasmania, and I'd like to particularly thank Ray Leonard and Robbie Batten for being such strong advocates of our cause within the ACS. Our gold sponsors this year include the Tasmanian Department of Economic Development, Tourism and the Arts, and I'd in particular like to thank Minister David O'Byrne for sponsoring the conference, as well as the Tasmanian ICT peak body. We're very pleased to welcome Tasmanian government and industry to the conference this year. We see this as a real vindication of the work that we've done in bringing PyCon Australia and so many enthusiastic tech people to Hobart and Tasmania as a whole. Please thank our platinum and gold sponsors. Our regular conference sponsors include the Python Software Foundation and the Django Software Foundation. The Django Software Foundation were the title sponsors of DjangoCon AU, and Aptera, who are the title sponsors of the OpenStack MiniConf. Secret Lab, Anchor Systems, the CSIRO, New Relic, who are our video sponsors, Heroku, Rackspace, who sponsored Code Wars last night, Red Hat, GitHub, Biari Commercial Mathematics, and Freelancer.com. I'd also like to thank our non-profit sponsors, the Typewriter Factory, Info Exchange Australia, and the New South Wales Rural Doctors Network. And finally, I'd like to thank our conference contributors. These are individual delegates from companies who see substantial value in contributing this conference and have each made a contribution over and above the standard ticket rate. So please thank our conference sponsors and our conference contributors. This conference is organised by Linux Australia, our parent organisation. Linux Australia supports free and open source software communities in Australia and New Zealand. As well as PyCon Australia, since it began, they have organised the linux.conf.au open source conference and many other free and open source software conferences throughout the region. They make it very easy to run such conferences in Australia, and we'd like to thank them for their ongoing support. Finally, I'd like to mention our financial aid program, which is how we've run diversity and outreach this year. This helps us grow the Python community in Australia by helping to connect people who couldn't otherwise attend with the global Python community. I personally, and on behalf of this conference, benefited hugely from PyCon North America's aid scheme this year, and I'm very proud to be able to bring that to Australia. We're able to run this program thanks to two of our sponsors. Firstly, Google Australia, who have sponsored gender diversity at PyCon since 2011, and they've really stepped up this year. And they've helped us bring great female speakers and delegates from as far afield as the United States. And the Python Software Foundation, who upon hearing that we wanted to run a program like theirs, offered us double the amount of sponsorship that we originally asked for. Thanks to these partners and our other sponsors, and those of you who purchased professional level tickets in record numbers, we're able to devote in excess of $10,000 to bringing some 20 people who otherwise couldn't have attended to this conference. So thank them, please. The rewards of our outreach efforts spread far beyond the confines of this conference. It helps us to grow the Python community throughout Australia and into the rest of the world. As well as assisting speakers, we've helped to assist students who might be able to begin to actively contribute to Python projects, educators who can bring the cutting edge of Python to a new generation of programmers, and community members who can instill the spirit of the Python community into software and other communities around the world. We're very pleased to be able to share the Python community with even more of you this year. To those of you who've received help, we hope you get a lot out of this conference, and that in reward you go out and be awesome. So, with no further delay, it's time to kick off the proceedings of PyCon Australia 2013.